Hi guys, it's Ben Heath from Lead Guru, and in this video, I'm going to talk about whether or not you should now be using Facebook lead generation campaigns now that the iOS 14 changes have been implemented with Facebook ads. Should you be moving away from conversion campaigns and using that type of campaign objective? That's what we're going to be covering in this video. Before I get into that, I just want to very quickly ask you to smash that like button and of course subscribe to my channel if you are new and you haven't done so already. Okay, so I'm an example ad account here and I've got the campaign types up in front of me. And a lot of businesses, particularly those that are looking to generate leads for services or something along those lines, but not always. A lot of e-commerce businesses will also operate in this way. They'll be running conversion campaigns, looking to generate, say, leads or an email opt-in or something along those lines. And they're probably debating whether or not they should go ahead and use lead generation instead. Now, the advantages to using lead generation have been accentuated by the iOS 14 changes. Now, we know that Facebook has reduced visibility over the actions that people take once they leave the app. So once someone clicks off an ad on Facebook or Instagram, they go through to your website, they can then become a lead, they can do all sorts of things, and you can track that usually with a conversions campaign, okay? And that's how you're able to see how your campaign's performing. That's how you're able to improve data, because you go, okay, this ad's generated more leads than this ad set with these targeting options has generated a better cost per lead than this ad set. Now, with the people that have opted out, with the iOS 14.5 update, they've opted out of being tracked by Facebook and Instagram, which we know is the majority of iOS users. We now have much less visibility over whether those people convert. It's leading to a number of issues, as you might quite imagine, not just from a data tracking standpoint, but also from an optimization standpoint within Facebook. However, if you go with lead generation, people stay on app. So let's say someone clicks on an ad, instead of being taken to your website and then you potentially not knowing what they do, they stay within Facebook or Instagram, whichever one they're on, and they're presented with a form, they fill out their information, and that's how they become a lead. Now, one of the advantages to that has always been that the ease of that means that you're likely to get a high volume of leads. So because lead generation campaigns are easy to click on, people submit their information, then you get lots of people do it, you get a lower cost per lead, nearly always through a lead generation campaign as opposed to a conversions campaign. But on top of that now, to the sort of pro lead generation campaign column, we need to add in the fact that we're going to have full visibility over the leads that we generate. There's not going to be any of those tracking issues with the iOS users, because people are staying in app, and anything that occurs in app, in Facebook or Instagram, we still have full tracking capabilities over it, just like we used to, okay? So that's another sort of big advantage of lead generation campaigns now that the iOS 14 changes have been implemented. So does that mean that we should look to switch over to lead generation campaigns if you're currently running a conversion campaign that's optimizing for leads? The answer is maybe, and it's a little bit more concrete than that. It's go ahead and test it. And the maybe is based on the results that you see, you then need to make a call about your business. So we've tested this for many years. When we get a client that wants leads or opt-ins or something like that, we've often tested, okay, we'll run a conversions campaign and we'll run a lead generation campaign. We'll use the same targeting options, we'll use the same ads, and we will see which one performs best and then optimize accordingly. Most of the time, I would say that conversions performs best. And the reason why conversions has performed best historically is because the quality of lead is usually significantly better. Even though the leads might cost more, they're better quality leads. So someone comes through to your website, they take a number of actions, perhaps they look around. That is going to really help sort of warm up that prospect so that by the time they then become a lead and you contact them afterwards, they're more likely to take the next steps that you want them to take. But that's not always the case. Sometimes we end up going with lead generation. What I think we're seeing now, and we're obviously in the early stage of this, so we're testing it and working out, is that if perhaps 80% of clients previously wanted to run conversions and 20% wanted to run lead generation, that might have moved to say 60-40. 60% want to run conversions, 40% now want to run lead generation. So if you are using Facebook and Instagram ads in order to generate leads, I would absolutely recommend that you test lead generation. Very quick and easy to do. If you've already got conversion campaigns running that you're looking to generate leads for, you can literally use the same ads, same targeting options, run a test, run them alongside each other, see which one performs best. But don't just pay attention to cost per lead or the number of leads generated, also pay attention to lead quality. It's still likely to be better with conversions, and depending on your business, that may be more or less important. You know, if you're selling a really, really high-end service, lead quality is as important as it could possibly be, much more so than volume. If you're looking to generate a high volume of leads, you know, for a service or even a product that's kind of commoditized, then lead generation may absolutely be the way that you want to go. Anyway, so just make sure that you go in with an open mind from what you see within the Facebook ad data, but also what you can verify externally. And you need to factor in, of course, that your conversions campaign will underreport on the conversions generated, whereas your lead generation campaign will not underreport. Now, if you don't know how to set up a lead generation campaign, you're thinking, how does all this work? I've got plenty of videos on that. I'll include links in the video description to one or more, exactly how to create a lead ad campaign, how to create a lead generation campaign, so you can go through those and see the step-by-step process, how to set up lead forms, all that sort of stuff. But I think it's a good option. I think this is actually something that Facebook has been pushing for a number of years. It might be one of the scenarios in which they don't mind a lot of these reduced tracking changes that we're seeing, not just to Facebook advertising, but to digital marketing in general. So we know that iOS 14 means that iOS users now can no longer be tracked to the same extent they were previously, but we know that coming down the line, cookies are going to be taken off certain browsers, and that I think is going to convince more and more Facebook advertisers to do stuff on platform, to run message campaigns and lead generation campaigns, maybe even create Facebook shops and run their e-commerce businesses that way. This is something that Facebook has wanted for a while. Now, that doesn't mean you should fight it. You should do whatever's best for your business, and it may well be now that lead generation works well. You could also get quite clever with this and segment it out. So perhaps I'd still test first, but perhaps you come up with a solution whereby certain segments of your market, for example, maybe iOS 14 users, unlikely to be just quite that simple, perhaps certain segments of your market are going to want lead generation campaigns. And perhaps other segments, you could do Android users, but there are other options. You could run conversion campaigns too. Perhaps you might see a split in age, where one part of your market produces better results with one, and vice versa, all that sort of stuff. I think that's something that we're exploring right now. I'll have more information for you in the future. But the answer to the question of should you be using Facebook lead generation campaigns after the iOS 14 changes is maybe. I would definitely give it a go if you haven't done so already. And you are more likely to settle, I think, on lead generation campaigns now than you were a couple of months ago. And that's absolutely fine. Okay, before we go, a couple of things I want to quickly mention. The first is a free webinar I've created called 3 Killer Facebook Ad Strategies to Double or More Your Revenue. And I think that if you want to get better results from Facebook ads, the first thing and the single most important thing to get right is your strategy and your sales funnel for your business. And that's part of what this video is talking about, different campaign objectives that fit into a strategy. But in that video, we've got 3 different strategies. In that webinar, sorry, we've got 3 different strategies. And I talk about, if you've got this type of business, you want to use this strategy. If you've got this type of business, you want to use this strategy. If you've got this type of business, you want to use this strategy. And that is absolutely essential to getting it right. No one size fits all. The webinar is completely free. Links in the video description below. Strongly recommend you go through it. I think, 60, 70 minutes long. You'll be very glad you did, and hopefully set you on the right path, going in the right direction. And that should be very helpful. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. That'd be much appreciated. Please comment below to let me know. That always is helpful. I get to as many comments as I can. Don't answer them all, but I answer a lot of them, and I certainly see them all. And yeah, subscribe to my channel if you are new and haven't done so already. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Bye for now.